Look at him getting his king in. He's kept his rook and bishop a little bit passive, but his king is doing the hard job there, getting into the black camp.
That's right. It's 3 minutes against 3 minutes, so level clock here, but the position far from level anymore. All about the white king, the most valuable piece, just not hiding anymore. It's entered. The question is how to break through. White's pieces at some point will need to uncoil themselves. He steps forward. He's maybe trying to go for checkmate. The black king doesn't have too many squares here, Saga.
Oh my god. You know, the way in which Magnus plays the endgame makes me just realize that this is art. You know, the way in which he pushed his pawns, taking away these squares, the king here taking away another square. Now maybe the rook swinging, oh, can't go here, but I want to reach there somehow.
That's right. If white could land a check, the black king is really struggling, but Magnus brings his bishop in. This is a sacrifice. He's giving up his corner pawn there. The black rook offside though, and Magnus is creating a passed pawn.
What is happening here, David? If you take the pawn, why did Magnus do this?
He's giving up another pawn. He's actually going to be down by 2 right now as Anand there. Indecision. He captures a second pawn. The white rook, however, is going to enter the action. It's 3 versus 2.
Here. And what Magnus is essentially saying is that my quality of pawns is much better than your quantity of pawns.
Exactly, and right now the black rook is not participating in this game. The black rook is stuck on a really ugly square. It needs at least 2 or 3 moves to rejoin the action, but in the process of those 2 or 3 moves, the net is closing around the black king, and white's e-pawn might well cost the black bishop its life.
Right, and if Anand can just get this, like sacrifice the bishop for this pawn, use his rook to capture the final pawn, that's exactly what he wants. But I guess Magnus is not going to allow that to happen.
That's right. Magnus doesn't want to cash in on his powerful pawn too early. There we go. Rook takes pawn. Check, first of all. 3 attackers, the white king, bishop and rook, gathering around the black king. I don't think Magnus will push, as you say, Saga. He might only push the white pawn forward if he can guarantee he's going to checkmate that black king in the process. Yes,
exactly. This move would be a big mistake because then Vishy gives up his bishop and then takes this, and this is a draw. So clearly Magnus has to find a way to make progress here without pushing the pawn.
Yeah, and the path to victory might well be narrow. It's now 2 minutes 25 against just over 2 minutes for Anand. White might need to give a check with his rook, but watch out. He will push his pawn only at the perfect moment. We see hesitation from Magnus. He's trying to calculate, look into the future as deeply as possible. Like you said, Saga, rook and bishop versus rook, if all the pawns disappear, is a draw. So he wants more. He wants much more than that.
Yeah, he plays his rook here, gives a check. The king moves to the side. Magnus is actually not seen the win yet. He's moving his king. David, is he trying to checkmate the black king?
I think so. The black king lacking defenders. This is genius from Magnus Carlsen. Look at the win probability shoot up.
Oh my god. What's happening exactly? Is there a mate?
I think there might be. Anand has played very natural moves, but how to defend now? The black rook, let's assume it slides across and takes a pawn. White is going to give a check with his rook. This is going to happen. Oh,
he doesn't take the pawn. He just goes one step to the side. A check did happen as you predicted, David. King goes to the side, and where's the mate? Because if you enter with your king here, here, there's a rook that wants to give you a check.
And only now does he push his pawn, Magnus. The black bishop will have to sacrifice itself to remove white's pawn, that potential future queen.
But wasn't that what Vishy wanted to do?
But the black king, I think, is trapped in the corner. It's going to be checkmate.
He wants to checkmate him. Beautiful. The pawns no longer matter. It's these 3 pieces coming together to checkmate.
Yeah, the dream team. All of white's pieces focused in on the black king. The black king lonely in the corner. Wow, we actually see that this position is declared by the computer to be a forced checkmate within 11 moves.
This is unbelievable, David. It's for a reason that Magnus is called the Mozart of chess, you know, the artist. And he's just done that today.
Exactly. Conducting his pieces in perfect harmony here, Magnus Carlsen. Conducting them towards the black king. And endgame magician, we call him a virtuoso here. Magnus Carlsen on the brink of victory. Anand, he's trying to push his own pawn, but he's just too slow. And white is just putting those finishing touches on a bishop check. We're going to see that bishop retreat next move. And its checkmate is forced.
Oh, it's a checkmate with the king moving. I think Anand will let Magnus mate. No, he resigns. What a game this was by Magnus.
Brilliance from the world #1 in this clash of 2 former world champions. And Wow, huge victory there for the Alpine Pipers.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Magnus very satisfied with that. And meanwhile, on board number 2, we have a result. It's drawn. Meanwhile, Richard Rapport, as predicted, did win on board 3.